Welcome to my channel. Support our channel by subscribing. Your subscription helps us grow and create more intriguing content like this. Now, let's dive into today's story. Ethan Carter is a 35-year-old software engineer known for his loyalty and hardworking nature. After years of dedicating himself to his career, he decides to take time off work to rekindle his bond with his wife, Lila Carter. Lila, 33, is a dreamy, ambitious woman who has spent the last 5 years writing her first novel. On the surface, she appears warm and affectionate, but beneath her charm lies a cunning, manipulative side. Their lives intertwine with Grayson Hale, a charismatic 40-year-old realtor whose smooth-talking nature masks an opportunistic personality. Grayson isn't just a realtor, but someone who enjoys playing power games, especially when it comes to relationships. Then there's Mia Taylor, Ethan's younger sister, a sharp, no-nonsense woman with a protective streak. Mia has always been Ethan's confidant, offering wisdom and tough love when he needs it most. Together, these 4 characters form the foundation of a story filled with betrayal, revenge, and redemption. Ethan's decision to take time off work comes after months of feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from life. He's eager to reconnect with Lila, imagining long mornings spent chatting over coffee and evenings enjoying simple pleasures like cooking together. At first, everything seems perfect. Lila is cheerful, and their conversations flow effortlessly. But as days pass, Ethan starts noticing subtle changes. Lila becomes increasingly distracted, often glued to her phone or laptop, claiming she's working on her novel. She's dressing up more often, even when she's supposedly staying home. She's also quick to brush off Ethan's questions about her day, giving vague answers that leave him unsettled. One evening, as they sit down for dinner, Lila's phone buzzes repeatedly. She hurriedly excuses herself to the other room, leaving Ethan alone at the table. Suspicion begins to creep in. Ethan, who has always trusted Lila implicitly, finds himself wondering if there's something she isn't telling him. He tries to dismiss these thoughts as paranoia, blaming his own insecurities. But the signs keep piling up. Lila's frequent appointments with Grayson to discuss the sale of their property strike Ethan as odd. Why would a realtor need so much time with his client? Determined to keep things lighthearted, Ethan suggests they take a weekend trip together. To his disappointment, Lila declines, citing her book's deadline as the reason. The rejection feels like a cold splash of water. It's the moment Ethan begins to realize that the distance between them isn't just physical. It's emotional. As Ethan lies awake that night, his mind races with unanswered questions. He doesn't know it yet, but his instincts are leading him toward a discovery that will change everything. The turning point comes one quiet afternoon. Ethan is home alone, catching up on a book, when Lila's phone buzzes on the kitchen counter. Normally, he'd ignore it, respecting her privacy. But today, something compels him to look. He hesitates, his hand hovering over the screen. Finally, he picks it up and sees a preview of a message from Grayson. "Can't wait to see you again." The words hit him like a punch to the gut. His heart races as he unlocks the phone and reads their conversation. The messages are flirtatious, filled with inside jokes and intimate undertones. It's undeniable. Lila and Grayson are more than just acquaintances. Ethan feels a whirlwind of emotions: anger, betrayal, and heartbreak. Yet amidst the chaos, he knows he needs proof before confronting Lila. He decides to stay calm and observe, hoping to catch them in the act. Over the next few days, Ethan installs a hidden camera in their living room, strategically placed to capture Lila's interactions when he isn't around. He feels guilty for resorting to this, but his need for clarity outweighs his moral hesitation. The footage reveals everything. Grayson visits the house under the pretense of discussing the property. Their conversations quickly shift from professional to personal, with laughter, flirtation, and eventually physical intimacy. Watching the video, Ethan feels his world collapse. He replays the footage multiple times, hoping to convince himself it isn't real. But the truth is undeniable. Ethan decides it's time to confront Lila. He prepares himself mentally, knowing this conversation will mark the end of life as he knows it. The confrontation happens one evening after dinner. Ethan sets the stage calmly, not wanting to tip Lila off. He waits until they're both seated in the living room before saying, "Lila, we need to talk." His tone is steady, but there's a sharpness in his eyes that Lila notices immediately. She looks up from her laptop, her smile faltering. "What?" The big day arrives. Amelia is intrigued but slightly skeptical. Ethan takes a deep breath and says, "I know about you and Grayson." The color drains from Lila's face. "What are you talking about?" she stammers, attempting to feign ignorance. Ethan pulls out his phone and plays the footage. As the video rolls, Lila's expression shifts from denial to shock to despair. "Ethan, please, I can explain," she begins, but Ethan cuts her off. "Explain what? That you've been lying to me for months? That you've been cheating on me with the man we trusted?" Lila breaks down, tears streaming down her face. She pleads for forgiveness, claiming it was a mistake and insisting she still loves Ethan. "It didn't mean anything," she cries. But Ethan isn't swayed. "It meant enough for you to risk everything we built," he replies coldly. For the first time in their relationship, Ethan feels a sense of power. He's no longer the victim. He's in control. The conversation ends with Lila sobbing and Ethan walking out of the room, leaving her to grapple with the weight of her actions. In the days following the confrontation, Ethan wrestles with his emotions. Part of him wants to walk away and never look back, while another part craves retribution. One afternoon, while Lila is out, Ethan notices her laptop open on the dining table. Her manuscript, the novel she's spent years crafting, is on the screen. He stares at it for a long moment, memories of their shared dreams flooding his mind. Then, in a surge of anger and heartbreak, he selects the file and deletes it. He doesn't stop there. He empties the recycle bin, ensuring there's no way to recover it. When Lila returns home and discovers what he's done, she's hysterical. "How could you?" she screams, her voice cracking with anguish. Ethan meets her gaze unflinching. "Now you know how it feels to lose something you've poured your heart into," he says. The room falls silent as the weight of his words sinks in. For the first time, Lila seems to grasp the depth of the pain she's caused. Ethan doesn't feel satisfaction, only a hollow sense of justice. He packs a bag that night and leaves, choosing to stay with Mia while he figures out his next steps. Ethan's decision to leave marks the beginning of a new chapter. With Mia's support, he starts the process of filing for divorce. "You deserve better," Mia tells him one evening as they sit on her porch. Her words resonate deeply, giving Ethan the strength to move forward. He begins focusing on himself. Lila, meanwhile, is left to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. She attempts to reach out to Ethan multiple times, but he ignores her calls and messages. He's done looking back. The story ends with Ethan standing in his new apartment, a blank page open on his laptop. He's ready to start over, not just as a writer, but as a man who's learned his worth. As he types the first sentence of his own story, he feels a sense of peace he hasn't felt in years. And that, friends, is the story of how I turned heartbreak into a new beginning. Sometimes life throws curveballs, and it's up to us to decide how to swing back. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, or if you have your own story to share, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Until next time, take care and remember, you deserve honesty and respect in all your relationships. See you soon.